Okay, Rank Carcass again here. I'm gonna do show you a turn here, or a possible attack where the turn tracker has moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 turns ahead to January 39, and I would say July 39 in conjunction with the Japanese alignment of Siam. This may be a handy thing to do. It's up to you. You got a few options here, but I'm just going to show this as a possibility on a British Commonwealth attack here. So in this one, we're basically going to do the same thing we did with China, only we're not actually going to attack China. And China isn't all that scary. It can't leave, so Johor is safe all the time. Anything you leave there is safe from an attack by the Chinese. Your borders could get clashed, so if you don't want to lose units to the Russians, just pull them all into Johor, or you could haul them away and drop them off here. Do whatever you want to do. Now, if we're going to do a Chinese feint, you can basically do the same thing we were doing last time. So I got your $16 for the start, plus then you get your $3 bonus each consecutive turn. So what I'm doing here is, if you wanted to build more units in Johor, there's an option where you could spend $5, save a buck, and then spend $5, using that save buck to buy a regular Marine. Now, it's up to you. You can do regular Marines, you can do artillery, you can do light tanks, you can do an anti-aircraft, you could do a mountain troop, you could do whatever you want to do. I'm just showing this as an option so that you can build the most units possible and still transport them all. So, there you go. That's an option, or instead, maybe you don't build this and you build yourself another destroyer, or you build, whatever. You got $10 you can spend on whatever you want. That's up to you. But each turn you're building your 2 elite or SNFL Marines, right? So you got another factory. If you want, that factory's up in Johor. Then you're going to build 2 elite Marines, 2 regular Marines, 2 elite Marines, a regular Marine, a destroyer to carry Marines, 2 more elite Marines and a destroyer. Then you got change again, and you're going to build 2 elite Marines, a regular Marine, and a destroyer. There you go. There's some options. You're also building up your Navy. That way, if you lose some, you're still going to have at least a little bit, and you got some more destroyers that can take some hits. So there's some options there. And this is set up so that using all the transports that's already on the map, plus these 3 destroyers, you can get every single one of these Marines in action on turn 7. So, there you go. There's another option. The Marines are nice because you can carry them with destroyers. You get more stuff involved in round 1 of attack, but they're horrible at attacking. They attack at a 2. They move 1. They defend at 4. So if I was going to do that, even with all those Marines, like so long as you have some of them alive round 1, I'd probably bring along light tanks. You got 5 transports, right? So you got 2, 3, 4, 5. There you go. Plus 5 of your elite Marines in the back, and then the rest can ride on the destroyers. So that's probably the option I would go to. But if you want to maximize your landings, I would buy the Marines. Okay, so that's a quick thing there. Now, this is going to be a lot of maneuver and forget type stuff, because it all depends with this game on what these guys are doing. Because they're not static. It's not like Global 40 or any of the other Axis and Allies games where turn 1, go, right? And this stuff's always here, always there, right? These guys could decide, you know what, we're not going to stay here, and we're going to just all pile up, including the Australians, and we're just going to make a great big pile right here or something. You never know. Or they could all take off and head off that way and move into the Med. I've seen that before. or everything in the med could come out and come here. So you got some options. Depends on what they're doing, and it may affect what you're going to do. But essentially, you're going to do the same thing you did last time. You're going to get yourself a fancy task force marker, and you're going to put everything on here. The whole Navy. You can put it in here and build guys there and there. Load them up. It looks like you're going to be doing the China thing again, right? Or you could do it down here. That's another option. There you go. You're loading them up. It looks like you're going for China still, but it's a little bit different. You could have built this factory over here, or you could build the factory in Korea or up in Johor again. It doesn't really matter. That's your call. Where are your plans? Or you skip the factory for now. You wait till you get Siam, and then a turn or two from now you build it down there. Another option. Very viable, not bad. So there's some of those. Now, you already got a lot of force on the map. So what I'm going to show is, let's say you got everything stacked up here, right? Remember that little rule, I believe they use in the rule book, they use a German sub goes past the British thing in non-combat or in combat move, and then combat's declared after, so it's not stopped. The same thing can apply here. You are doing a surprise strike. You can combat move through blockers because nothing's blocking you because you're not at war yet until you pull the trigger, right? So you can float on through. This entire fleet can just go park here, and then you declare war, right? So should you decide to do that, I would say go ahead. So you got all that stuff there. You can stage it up here, and now you have your you don't even need to use a bonus move. It's 1, 2, 3 to get there, but instead you can stage up there, and using your surprise strike bonus move, right, you can go 1, 2, 3, and then 4 with battleships, transports, aircraft carriers, the works. Just remember, don't outrun your planes, because the light carrier will be able to go 5 and the planes only go 4. It doesn't give you a long range for the aircraft, just for the Navy. So let's say, yeah, you wander right through these guys and you come down here. Well, now you got to fight that battle, but you got all this stuff with you, because you can bring everything, because nobody else is at war with you yet. You could have slowly brought this coastal sub all the way down to here too. Yeah, do some convoys or something. So let's get this whole Navy down here. I got them scattered all over the place. So there you are. You got these 3. Right? Now you don't have to, like the joy of transports in this game, they don't all have to land in the same place. They all just have to land on something adjacent to the same sea zone, right? And if I was doing this, I might have parked these aircraft down up here. Now the reason for that parking of aircraft is I could probably just throw away a couple of things here. Oh, where are we here? Where's that? Yeah, the torpedo boat destroyer. This. Throw these planes in here. They got 1, 2, 3 things that can get hits on me. If I'm worried about losing a plane, bring in another sub. There you go. Right? Now don't forget, you built all this other stuff. So I'm going to show an example where we bring everything except for the turns. Everything except for 1 Marine for the amphibious assault. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You know what? Let's just make that easier. Instead of bringing everybody, we're just going to stack this up, and there will be 12 of these things landing there. Huh? Right? Now, the most that they're going to have is 30 bucks because they make $5 a turn there. And they don't have a lot of units to start with, right? So there's a chance they could have, say, flown this plane back in here or whatever. But it's the if they don't, you know, you can hunt it down and kill it, or you can hunt it down and kill it later. Whatever. Worst case scenario, they've decided that they're going to clump everything together over here. Well, that's not really all that bad, and there's this coastal sub there. And maybe even the Australians sent their cruiser in there. Well, what do you got? You got 2 cruisers. Well, there you go, you're matched. You got 1 battleship. Okay, you're matched. A pair of destroyers. There you go, you're matched. Yeah. Right? Oh, you brought a light carrier with a fighter too. There, you are matched. And throw in a regular sub. Okay, now you're actually matched. So you still have all this stuff extra, right? Which would mean that this stuff would also be in here extra. Alright. Now those planes won't be able to make it because there's nowhere for these planes to land. So they're going to be kind of out of the fight. But that's up to you whether you send them in or not. But if you have Siam, right? 1, 2, 3. See, they can't make it. So never mind. So they're not going to be able to get in there, but it depends on if you took something else. So those planes are out, right? Now you also have your 4 Marines that are additional. So you could have 4 Marines that you brought along, or make it 5, sorry. You could have your 5 Marines that you brought along. Or instead of Marines, maybe you decided you wanted to have 5 artillery or 5 light tanks. It's really up to you. From here, should you wish, you don't have to land it, but I mean, you're throwing in 12 of these guys in here, right? So let's say they got 30 bucks. They can only build 1 thing a turn over 6 turns. You're looking at an extra 6 infantry, right? Maybe they built a couple tanks instead or something. They could have built, so that's 15 bucks there for 15, no, that's 18 bucks for that, leaving us with 12 left over. They could have built another 3 colonials somewhere else over these turns and moved them in. Right, your odds are pretty even if they throw all this stuff together. You know, she's pretty even. Well, you don't really need this to fight that, so take it out. You might as well throw all the subs in there. Right? The destroyers are transporting stuff, so I would use them on the amphibious assaults. Throw the carrier in on that one. You got the planes in on that. So you're going to have this as your battle, and this will be your transports, right? And if you want to, you can throw in a couple of bombardments. Doesn't hurt, right? So you're transporting those 12 infantry there, and possibly, let's make it 5 light tanks. So round 1 is going to be a bit hairy for you. They're in a city, so they get the bonus. And what is the city bonus again? Let me just double check because I've been talking about so many bonuses that I'm losing track of which one's what. +1 defending units. All right. So instead of rolling at a 4, they're rolling at a 5 on defense. What did I say we have there? We've got 6 and 4. That's 10, 11, 12. 12 infantry. You're attacking with 12 Marines. It's close to 50% chance that they're going to hit, but not exactly. They never know. So you're probably going to have some survivors. Then round 2, you got these guys in there. Right? There you go. So that's some options. Or another option is, instead of building that factory, you could have put $9 in to build another one of these like carriers. Not one of the ones that's you gotta wait for, but an additional one, bringing in an additional aircraft. Right? That's an option. You could throw the carrier into this attack here, just to take hits, and then you could bring this plane in there over there, right? You don't have to bring all these planes there. You could throw them into that. Do a little 50-50 action. Depends on what they got. So there you go. Round one, bang, take the capital. They lose their money. They can't build anything. They have no factory. All their money goes to the bank. Not to you, to the bank. Although we like to house roll that in there sometimes just to make it sting a little extra. But it does occasionally overbalance the game, and the reward's too great, so people will occasionally stretch and attack something I shouldn't. So, there you go. Bang. You got that. Or maybe it's not all like this. Maybe they got a big stack over there, right? Right? Or maybe they're building up over here or something. Who knows, right? If they're building up over here in anticipation of taking Siam out, well, it doesn't hurt, right? But you don't have to hit this all in a stack here, right? If you wanted to, you could spread them out, and you could take Ceylon, you could take Madras, you could take Bengal's on the coast. There you go, Bengal. And you also have Burma here you could attack, right? And then you could decide not to attack that and attack extra around it, leading to a surrounding, right? All you need to take is one more place. You have the port blockaded. There you go. Now all this stuff, maybe you're not needing those for that. Throw them into the fight. Alright, so I'm not sure how else to show this, but that's a way you can use the surprise strike on these guys. Rather effective. You can either go this route here where you're all in on that, or instead you can hammer at little things around it. And some of your destroyers may have an extra move yet. So instead of going, 1, 2, 3, right? Instead of going 4 into there, some of your destroyers can go 5, right? So you could go 4 and 5, and your destroyer could be dropping off a marine up in here, stealing that port away from them. Which could do something favorable, like cut off the Lend-Lease to Iran from the Americans, because now there's no port, right? These are things to look at. You never know what you're doing. And there you go. That's one option. Or instead, you could take all that force and stack it up in here in the Carolines, right? Let's turn this a bit so you can see better. You have it all stacked up in the Carolines instead, this entire fleet with all that amphibious assault and whatever. Or even in the Marshalls, right? And you might decide, you know what, screw it, we're going into the US, so we're going 1, 2, 3. You don't even need your bonus move, right? So 1, 2, 3, or you can do it from here, 4, and bang, nail that, and amphibious assault. There you go. Took out a bit. How about I move the camera to show what I'm doing here? Gee. Sorry about that. Marshall Islands, Caroline Islands are down here. Either one. 1, 2, 3, 4 moves. You can get to the U.S. coast there off of San Francisco. And from there you can do the same amphibious assault action I was showing you into southern United States for 3, western United States for 2, and San Francisco for 6. Now the U.S. has been collecting $6 a turn. No bonuses, right? So they will essentially have $36 in their bank account that they could have used on this, but typically the U.S. may not build enough ground troops, so this will, I mean, their income's going to boost up, but they're not going to get the bonus because they don't have the lower 48, and you'll be stealing 6 $11 out of their income, right? And if you're going to do that kind of thing, you could also bring a couple destroyers from here on this side of Tokyo, going 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And you could also land guys in the Pacific Northwest, take out that. You can land up here and take out Alaska. Right, you can do all that in one round. That's an option. All right, or maybe you decide, hey, you know what? We're in here in the Carolines or the Marshall. The distance is the same. It's 1 from either one, either from there or from there. 2, 3, right? No bonus move required. Nail this. Next turn, you nail that. Right? So, it depends, because sometimes the British decide that they're not going to leave everything up by Calcutta because it's probably going to get killed, and they may be just stacking piles of Navy down here, which I've seen. Well, that's too juicy of a target to leave alone. You're not going to leave that alone. That's why you went over here to fight that. But if it's not there, you go over here and fight it. You're not really out of position against the Americans. You're just, one turn away and you're back up here for a lot of things. Especially if you brought all that land units, the five light tanks or additional Marines, and then the 12 Marines you got up there. Right? Like, you can delay this action a turn or two, or you do it a turn or two earlier. It's all up to you. But if you're attacking Australia down here, well, the most money they can make in 6 turns is 5, 10, 15, 20, or sorry, Jesus, 15, 16, 17, $18, right? That's the most they can have. It's not a lot of units, right? So, you have definitely outpaced them in production. It's equivalent to 1 turn of your builds. That's it. All right. Yeah, I'm kind of beating this to death now. Yeah, so remember, Japan, you can be looking like you're doing something over here, building up, and if this doesn't work, if you don't feel like doing that, you also have these 5 tanks and these 12 Marines up here to start, right? Or you have them over here to start in the Carolines. Doesn't matter. Where they can go 1, 2, 3, right? And 4, and 4. And you can hit everything on the coast and take it all in 1 turn. You got options. Go with the one that works. Go with the one they give you. Because they're going to move their stuff around, but their moves are going to give you the opening. Because they can't protect against everything. That's why it's called a surprise. So use your surprise strike wisely. And yeah, that's it. So there's your Japanese ground attack options against either the Commonwealth, the U.S., or you could still do China. Your call. Anyway, hopefully you find this entertaining, and have a good day. Bye.